Good morning. This is Ron Brown. It's March 7th. It's about 10 in the morning. Today I'm going to show you some things I've been working on. I have some scans that I've put in. I call them intraday gaps and reversals. These are for potential short-term entries or people that like to day trade and so on. So I'll point those out to you. And then I also have some new user smart groups which go in and capture what I call them potential bullish trades based upon VPA flags. As always, the market is your teacher, and we're learning that lesson right now. Things are really out of control so far. We'll see if we get a reversal, but right now it's very dangerous, as you all know. Okay, as usual, any stock index or ETF mentioned in this presentation is not a recommendation to buy or sell. All trading strategies are used at your own risk. Now I'm going to start in the designer and down here in the user smart groups. Now most of you have my smart groups that I was using last year. This is my current group, and I capture most of these and put them up into the non-index files so I can do some back testing going along. But this one I no longer use, so I want you to get rid of it. Just go up here, click on this. It's number 2. All you have to do is delete it, get it out of the way, and rebuild the user smart groups. And after you rebuild, this will be gone. Now, I hope to work on some of these other ones, get rid of them, and just limit myself. But that I want you to get rid of. And then when this finishes, I'm going to show you the smart groups that I added. Okay, it finished. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to go into my daily smart groups. If you go down here, you will find bullish test scans. Now, they're not for testing. That's probably a misnomer, but I put it in there. And what I'm looking for are stocks that are getting or generating VPA tests. Now let's get rid of the filter here. I need to go down to the bottom and just select no filter. And these will appear. This here is a low volume test followed by a confirmation of that test. So I'll just bring one of these up. Amgen, and this is a good example. This is from yesterday, and Amgen is going up today even though the market's going down. So this is an excellent example. Here is the low volume test, and here is a confirmation of that test. And this was yesterday, day before yesterday, and here the market continues up. Now, this one here is just a low volume test without a confirmation. But the scan that I'm using here is the one that shows these two, a test and then a confirmation of that test. Okay, that's one, and then here's one, same thing, except the flag has to be up. Now in this one, over here, if you look at the right, the flag is, I'm sorry, not the flag, the fan. The fan is not up on this yet because these are not stacked properly. The 200 would have to be here, then the 100, then the 50, and then the 18. So this is coming out of a base, and it's in an intermediate term uptrend. How do I know? Because these 3 histograms are all positive. Where were the signals? Here, the original crossover signals, clear back here. And then there is a little dip here, and then another buy signal. Let's take a look at one of these with the face. How about McDonald's? And you can see what I mean here. Here's the 100, 200, I'm sorry, the 200, the 100, the 50, and the 18. And here is the signal. So that's good. McDonald's is going up today after this. There was also an effort to rise yesterday. Now these scans are available in my VPA scans, but I thought it would be good to have the groups themselves in the User SmartGroups because I can drag them up here. I'll show you. I'm putting them in here. VPA test scans, and I'm starting to build a database. Now, I just added a couple of these last night. These earlier ones only had 2 of the groups. So I've added the other 2 with the fan requirement. Now let me go back and show you the other one quickly. And this, I will need to go down here to my User SmartGroups. I'm out of sync today. Okay, so looking at the test scans, you can see that there is a strength returning after a downturn. These are commonly known HESI users that use the V scans as a J flag. That terminology came from an HESI user. His first name is Jay, and he said, I'm having a lot of luck with scans using this scan, and consequently, it is now known as the J flag. So here's the J flag with the fan up, and here's a J flag without the fan. Notice there are a lot of these now. A lot of these. What I think I've really noticed is that the low volume tests with the confirmation are generally stronger stocks, whereas these here without the fan, a lot of these are weaker. I'm going to see if I can find. Okay, for example, here are the 2 signals, and this is obviously a weaker stock. So what you're going to find is a lot of these stocks are in a downtrend. Now, one thing I've been experimenting with, and I think this is probably a good idea, I'll just stay on this group, but I'm going to go into the warehouse and I'm going to bring up my smart groups, and I'm going to go down to the micro trends, trending up, trending down, and I'm going to go into the trending down, and I'm going to go clear down to the primary trends down, and you can see that there are 32 of these that are trending down, but they're generating these signals. So strength coming in. This is a very weak market day, but there are some of these stocks that are turning around. Let's just take a look at Vera Bradley, for example. See, it's in a very strong downtrend. 200, 100, 50, 18. But here are the signals right here. What else do we have here? We have a pocket pivot, volume pocket pivot signal, 2 of them back to back, and here's an effort to rise also. So it's coming off the bottom. So you're going to find a lot of these stocks that are in a strong downtrend, 32 out of, let me take this filter off. Out of 81 securities, 32 of them are in strong downtrends. So if you're a bottom fisher and looking for reversals, these are going to be very good scans. Now let me reapply that filter. I'll just go over here to the right, click on this. That reapplies the filter, and there are 32 of them in here. And you can see how many days they've been down. Now I'm going to go up one level or a couple of levels to the intermediate term downtrend, intraday, and there are 11 in here, and a few of them are up. I'm going to bring this one up, and if you look at this, this is the intermediate term downtrend, which means that the 3 is below the 6, and the 6 is below the 18, and the 18 is below the 50 on these histograms. Notice it's popping up today. Now here are your signals. So I think these scans are excellent. I know they are. It doesn't always pick winners, but you can find stocks where there is accumulation coming in to these stocks. Now they can go lower, of course, but at least you're getting a list of candidates. Now I could go into this in a lot more depth, but anyway, here are the signal conditions over here. For some reason, it didn't show up on this one, but let's take a look at it anyway. Bring this up. You can see that the signals are there. For some reason, it didn't populate that bar, but there it is getting or generating the signals. So you will find these under the User SmartGroups under My Name, Ron's Daily Smart Group Scans, February 2025. And just go down here until you find the bullish test scans. Here's the J flag, these two. This is a J flag with a fan up. Let's take a quick look here before I leave. You can see the fan is tight, but it's in the correct sequence, and this stock is starting to go up. Adobe Labs. Here are the signals. It's basing, accumulations coming in. So these are in the add-on now. So next time you update, you can do that. Now, what else I want to show you here are some scans, and you shouldn't have to delete the warehouse views and the chart views, but you can, because that way you know that you have exactly what I have. So what I have here is another category. And these are, I need to get out of here. I'll hold my alternate space bar, and it goes to all securities. But rather than all securities, I think I'll go into my user groups, my market analysis user groups, go to the major indexes updated weekly, go to the S&P 1500. And now I'm going to be working with these groups right here. I've added a new group of category stocks called Intraday Gaps and Reversals, and this can help you find opportunities, or help us find opportunities intraday, or to get into positions, or just day trade. So as you can see, I'm in the S&P 1500 here. I'm on the first one. It's called Intraday 1% Gap Down, rising from the low, and it has to be at 50% of its intraday range. So if I bring the arrow up here, and the first thing is 1% gap down, you can see that these are at least 1% gap down. And here's the intraday range. You can see that these are all above 50%. So rising from the low. So Coca-Cola is on top, and I'm going to bring it up, and it's trading at 97.51% of its daily range, and you can see that right here. But here is a low volume test and a confirmation of that test. So this is a nice setup intraday that the program is finding for us. Let's take a look at Green Dot Corporation. This is oversold. This is an oversold area. Low volume test, confirmation of that test, stopping volume, moving up. Okay, that is the first one. This column here shows you the percentage change from the low. I'm going to move down to the next one. This is 1% gap up, and it has to be trading at least at 50% of its intraday range. So I'll bring the arrow up again. Here's the gap. You can see that these are at least 1%, trading at 50% of its intraday range. Right here it's above 50. And here's the percentage gain from the low. So these gapped up by at least 1%. Now I'm going to look at that. Well, let's look at more name, Star Surgical. So what's the gap here? Intraday gap 1.56. You can see it up here too, and it's moving up. So a chance for an entry on a stock that's beaten down, which is showing signs of strength. Okay, I'm going to move down to the next one. Now, these are negative intraday, moving up. I'll bring the arrow back up. Negative intraday, gap down, but moving up. Here they're at the, this stock is at the upper end of its range. So if I get rid of that arrow and bring this up, there was a gap down. See a gap down from yesterday's close, and now it's trading at the upper end of its range. So on this weekday, this stock is showing strength, and it's above, let's see, the low range here is 50%. I think these are all very useful. Okay, now here is positive intraday moving up at least 50% of its daily range. So I'm sorted on raw combo here. You can see these are trading at the upper end of their range. Some of these had a gap down, but now they're strengthening. Here's Akame. I believe that's how you pronounce it. But anyway, slight gap down from the prior day's close, and now it's trading at 100% of its daily range. Let's look at H&R Block. Gap down from here to here, now trading at the upper part of its range. Okay, I'm going to move down to the next one. This one, or this scan finds stocks that are negative intraday moving down, and they have to be below 50% of their daily range. So you can see that negative, gap down, negative range. And here's the opening range. Current range, I'm sorry, not opening range. So if I take this off and resort and go to the top, you can see that all of these are below 50% of their intraday range. And they're down. So the ones that are up here near the middle of their intraday range, they could be gaining back to the upside. These that are at the bottom of their range, I'll just sort on the raw combo. And then I'll click on this. These are trading at the low end of their daily range. And finally, here's positive intraday, but moving down below 50% of the intraday range. So it's positive, gapped up 2.2%, but now it's at the low end of its range. What does this tell us? It tells us that this stock did not hold the gap up, and there it is. Same here. Gapped up, but it isn't holding up, so there's selling into that. So these are the category trades that I put in here. These will be in your add-on also if you're a subscriber to the Insider Club, and it just really highlights or pulls out stocks that are based upon these intraday scans. If you're looking for strength, gap down, rising from the low, gap up, and holding up, negative intraday but moving up, positive intraday, moving up, and moving down, positive, negative intraday moving down, and positive intraday moving down. Anyway, that's it for this video. I want you to play with these. If you have any other suggestions for these scans, let me know, and I'll consider putting them in. Thank you for listening, and hopefully next week will be better than this week.